Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us to EdTech Team Sessions on Air. We are live from the Riverside, California Summit. Say hi everybody in Riverside. Hi! Awesome. We are so stoked to be joined by Lisa Thumann, who is going to drive it home with Chrome today. If you are watching at home, we are going to have a back channel today, and even in the classroom, guys, you can join us in the back channel if you want. It's todaysmeet.com/edtechteam. We're going to be recording and archiving this awesome session today, so you can watch it later on the Google Plus page. You can tweet us at EdTechTeam. You can tweet Lisa at L. Thumann, and her resource site is right here, bit.ly/drive-it-home-with-Chrome. So we'll just leave this up, and I'm going to let Lisa get started. If you stick around today during the session, Lisa will take a few minutes at the end to answer the online sessions questions as well. So thanks, Lisa, for joining us, and looking forward to learning from you today.
Great, thanks, Wendy. For those of you that are here with me in person, you've done this several times between yesterday and today at the Riverside Summit. You go to the schedule, you find the link for Drive It Home with Chrome. That brings you here to our session description. And then I've got a link to Lisa's resources there. And the link to Lisa's resources brings you to this address right here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to screen share with the folks at home. Brings you to that resource with that bit.ly.com/drive-it-home-with-Chrome. So I'm going to start screen sharing so those folks get to see everything you're seeing. Okay. So Drive It Home with Chrome. The purpose of our time together is going to be looking at the settings in Google Chrome and how you can customize it and personalize it for yourself. Also, a lot of extensions will help you with productivity, and some apps if we have time. On a scale of 0 to 3, you guys that have taken sessions with me here already know I always do that. 0 being I'm not even in the Chrome browser. I'm in Internet Explorer, Safari, Firefox. Okay, show me fingers 0 to 3. I can rock it with Chrome, and be polite with your fingers, please. Okay, and what I'm seeing in the room, I'm seeing a few 3s. I'm seeing Robert's got 10 fingers up. He's that great. Oh, jazz hands. And so I saw an average of 2 in the room. So I'm sure that you're going to leave here with at least 2 or 3 things that are like aha moments for you. I mean, that's my goal. And then at the end of our time together, I'm going to ask you if there's anything that you want to share with the rest of the group, okay? Now, I want you to make sure that you are in the Chrome browser. If you're not in the Chrome browser, you can't do anything that we're doing right now. If you don't have Chrome yet installed, consider installing it now, or just sit back and kind of soak in what I'm talking about. Everything that I'm talking about is on this page, Drive It Home with Chrome, and I'll keep referring back to it. Okay, so first of all, we've got some Chrome tips and tricks that we want to talk about. The whole idea of using the Chrome browser is for you to log into it. The way that you know that you're logged into it is at the top right-hand corner, you would click on this Chrome menu bar. Now, does anybody know the nickname of the Chrome menu bar according to Google? Very good. Wait. Those of you that said hot dog were right. What other? Did I hear salad? No? I know some people call it the hamburger or the sandwich, but it's actually called the hot dog. And if I click on it and I go to settings down at the bottom, so click on the hot dog and go to settings, I should see here whether I'm signed in or not. So I can see on my screen that I'm signed in as Lisa at edtechteam.com. If you're not signed in and you start installing apps and extensions and making changes in your settings, it won't remember any of it. But the beauty behind Chrome is that everything that you're going to install and set right now, you can go on another device, another Chromebook, another PC, another Mac, log in with your account, and all of your stuff will be there. So I don't know about you, but I use more than one device. So if I bookmark something on my phone using the Chrome browser, it's in my bookmarks on my laptop or my iPad or my Nexus 7 or my iMac or whatever device I happen to be using. So it makes us truly portable and living in the cloud. Okay, so we're all in settings, and a few things that we want to pay attention to here is you want to make sure you're logged in, and then you want to look at on startup. So on startup, if you're in your Gmail account, you have 3 choices here, and they're all black. You can access them all. If you're in a Google Apps Education Edition account, your domain administrator can enable and disable some of these settings. And as you're looking through it, don't get frustrated if something's not enabled. There's probably a pretty good reason why the domain administrator didn't enable it, and a simple conversation will get you the answer as to why. So let's look kind of at the anatomy of what we have going on. I am really bad about having a bunch of tabs open. So if you notice, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tabs going on right now. How many of you have more than 10 tabs open? Yeah, I'm guilty of that as well. So those are your tabs going across the top of the screen. Then we've got this address bar here. Does anybody know what it is called in Chrome? Very good. It's called the Omnibox, and it's because it serves more than just being a URL address bar, and we're going to look at that. And then below that, we have a bookmarks bar. Now, a lot of times when you download and install Chrome, the bookmarks bar doesn't come up. So we're actually going to look at that as well. So on startup, when you launch Chrome on your device, do you want it to just open up with a blank new tab page? Do you want to continue where you left off, or do you want to open a specific set of pages? Well, let me tell you, my favorite is continue where I left off. So I've got my 10 tabs open, my laptop runs out of battery, and shuts down. The cool thing is I plug it in, I turn it back on, and it opens the 10 tabs back up for me. Okay? New tab, would you mind shutting the door, someone? Thank you. The new tab page, you know, I mean, that just means you have to type in an address and go somewhere. And then classroom teachers, this is great. Open a specific page or set of pages, your attendance, your calendar, your Gmail, and maybe even Google Classroom if you're using that in your class. Next, appearance. We could spend all day getting themes for Chrome. I'm going to let you do that on your own time. If you did Google Forms with me here or Google Sites with me here, with themes for everything, okay? So you can go ahead and pick that. But this is what I want to bring to your attention. Show Home button. Notice I have a Home button here. Well, I can direct that. Number one, I can get that Home button next to my Omnibox. Number two, I can make it go to a specific page. So right now I'm in my EdTechTeam account, but I could actually go ahead and switch, and I'm going to show you how to do this, to my Lisa Thumann account. And here my Home button is set to gmail.com. Okay? And then the last choice there, if I switch back to EdTechTeam, the last choice there is always show the bookmarks bar. And you want to go ahead and check that off so that you can have easily accessible bookmarks. All right. Bet you didn't know this, but the Omnibox also serves as search. For instance, I'm going to open a new tab. Now I can type in a URL, so I can start typing in Amazon. Well, I spelled it wrong, but I can start typing in Amazon.com, and it'll auto-complete it for me. But I could also use this as a search bar. So I could just go ahead and search turtles, enter, and it'll do the Google search for me, which is really nice. Well, if I go back to settings, Google allows me to decide what search engine do I want to use in my Omnibox. So if for some strange reason I don't want Google to be my primary search engine, I could go ahead and switch it to AOL. Okay? And then of course I can go ahead and click enable. I can enable OK Google so that I can do a voice search right from the Omnibox as well. Okay, the next set of things. Do you all see a section for people? Okay, this changed how I work. So a lot of us, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my Lisa Thumann at gmail.com account. A lot of us log in to more than one account. So right there I'm logged into Gmail, and then I'm logged into my work account. But I don't know about you, I have more than 2 Google accounts. How many people have 3 Google accounts? 4, 5. I get a Google account in every district I work with. Okay? So I certainly do not want to go log out of Lisa Thumann, log into Marlboro, log out of that, log into Woodbridge. Forget it. So what I did is I used people. And what that is you're adding different Chrome profiles. So if I go ahead and I switch back here to EdTech Team, I go down here to Add Person. I name it. So of course I'm going to name it the district, right? Or I might name it work or personal or one of my kids or something like that. So I'm going to say Riverside Schools. I'm going to pick, a really nice little, I'll be a cat, even though I'm allergic to them, and I'm going to click Add. And what it does is open a whole nother window and allows me to log in that window to that Google account, which means now, I'll close that I can go to the People menu, I can switch to Marlboro School District. That'll bring up that account only, which means that account's bookmarks, that account's Google Drive, that account's search history, all of those things. Isn't that nice? Is that one new thing you learned so far? Okay, and then I think we're done with settings. So let me go back to our resource for today, and we have a few other things that we want to look at. We want, to be aware that there are keyboard shortcuts, so I've put a link on the Symbaloo for you for keyboard shortcuts. There's a whole list of them. I'm really bad with keyboard shortcuts. It was my New Year's resolution for several years, and then I just gave up. Also, we want to look at the Chrome app launcher and incognito window. The Chrome app launcher, on a Mac, it's down in your dock at the bottom. On a PC, it's in your taskbar. And on a Chromebook, it's in the bottom left-hand corner. And what this is a little shortcut to all of the apps that you have installed, which is really nice. Now, if you don't have the Chrome app launcher, click that link and I've directed you to where you can install it. If you're on a Chromebook right now, they all have it. And the other thing is incognito. I want everybody, if you're following along, to go to File, New Incognito Window. Now notice those keyboard shortcuts there. The other way I can go incognito is I can click the hot dog and do incognito there. I want to be really clear with everyone on what incognito is. Incognito means that Chrome will not remember your search. It's not committing it to its history. It does not mean that your internet service provider can't see what you searched or your employer can't see what you searched. It just means that it's not part of your search history. Now, why would I want to do that? How many of you built a website and share it with parents or students or community members? Okay, so a third of the room. Well, we were just doing Google Sites in my session this morning, and we were embedding on the Google site a doc, a form, a calendar. So I build this wonderful site, and I want to make sure that everything's published correctly for the parents. So I go incognito. I'm no longer logged in as myself. Go to the website, and I would see it how they would see it. Isn't that nice? Okay, and then another reason to use incognito, let's say I'm doing a search lesson with my students and I want to kind of practice it and see what comes up in the search results, but I don't want them to see those purple visited hyperlinks. So I do it incognito and then Chrome won't remember the search that I did. Any questions about incognito? I use it all the time to view my web pages and make sure that they look the way, because the last thing you want to do is get in front of, I don't know, at a Board of Education meeting in front of the community and say, well, go to this website address, and the doc's not viewable, I need permission, your calendar's not public, so you can check it all ahead of time without having to phone a friend, okay? All right. The next thing that we want to talk about are extensions. So there's pretty much three things that we're going over together today. The settings, which we just did, extensions, and then apps. An extension is something that you install to your Chrome browser for increased functionality for Chrome. So right now all we're really doing with Chrome is just browsing. But an extension will let us do so much more. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the first extension that I'm going to show you. Let's say I'm doing current events with my students. So go to CNN.com and, well, oh, okay. So let's go ahead and 19 kids and counting canceled. Finally. Okay, so let's say I wanted to share this article with my students. The problem is that it is so distracting. Over on the right-hand side, there's all of this, video, other articles, all of those things. We're going to go ahead and pause her. Okay, well, instead of giving my students a link to that, I'm going to go use an extension called Readability. Any Blue's Clues watchers? It just looks just like the thinking chair. Okay, now watch what happens. Well, you met my daughters this morning. They were, originally watching Blue's Clues. So I'm going to click the thinking chair and watch what it does. It asks me to read it now, read it later, or send to Kindle. I'm going to read now. It's going to completely strip this article of everything that was so distracting and leave me with just the pertinent text and any video that was related to it. Now I can go a little farther with this. Over on the left-hand side, I can click the font symbol. I can increase the size of the font if my students would benefit from that, or heck, my own eyes, or I could decrease it. I could change it to better for a Kindle reader with a black background with white text, and I can share this. So I have 6 places that I can easily share this article, because every time I use the Readability extension, it creates a unique website address for that article that I've stripped down. So I could Facebook it, tweet it, I could send it via an email, send it to a Kindle, EPUB, or how about print? So I'm going to go ahead and click print. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but in Chrome, you probably have a local printer. I can also print to FedEx, which I actually use for work, but this is the one I use the most. This laptop right here I have had for 1 year and 8 months, and it has never physically been hooked up to a printer. I've never printed anything off of it. I save it to PDF, and then upload it to Drive, or email it to someone, or post it in Google Classroom. I have no need to actually print paper. So I click Save. It gives my, my article a title, and now I have a PDF of that in my Downloads folder. So I could email that to my students. I could post it somewhere, so it's not like they even have to go to the article and click Readability and go through that whole process. All right, ready for another one? Yes? No? Maybe so? Okay. Extensions, honestly, they are life-changing. So I have a whole lot of them here. I am going to show several of them to you. One of the ones I'm going to show is called, and I'm going to switch back to my other profile. I'm going to show you 2 more. Then I'm going to show you where they come from, how to install them, and how to uninstall them. Okay? So I'm going to go back to my lisa.thumann@gmail.com account, and I'm going to go pick up... I'll go back to CNN. And I think I'd like to find that 19 Kids and Counting video again. Here, surprises and Emmy nominations. Okay, so if you're working on a Chromebook, you can't install software on it. So you can't go and buy Snagit, or if you don't have a smartboard software or Promethean software, you don't have the screen capture tool. But you do have Snagit as an extension. So how is TechSmith able to give that to us for free, right? Well, it's because it's a stripped down version of it, but it accomplishes everything I need to accomplish. So I click the Snagit button, and it gives me choices over on the right-hand side. Do I want to capture the region, the whole page, scrolling page? I'm going to say region, and it gives me some crosshairs. So let's say I want to get this right here. I highlight what I want to capture. I let go. It shows me the size by pixels, and then I click the camera to take the picture. This is so cool what it does. So it's captured that there. I can annotate. So let's say I want my students to pay attention to the middle of that woman's back, and I'm going to draw a circle around this light right here, and I can write text on here. So if you're thinking about, that teacher that's constantly, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? How'd you do? Screen capture it and annotate on it and email it to them. Okay, but here's the best part of the Snagit extension. I'm going to go ahead and name this extension, so I'll say Riverside. and I hit enter, and it saves it automatically to my Google Drive in a folder called TechSmith. And I didn't even have to do anything. And it gives me a short link to it if I want, or I can actually download this picture right here as a PNG. I open it up and look at what we have. There's the PNG. That simple and free. And if you're thinking about, okay, well, that's screen capture, what about screen casting? And I know somebody got locked out of the screen casting session down the hall, and he's not happy. But here's what I could do.
You're making up for it.
I am. Oh, good. Phew. So Snagit has a screen capture tool, but I actually like to demonstrate Screencastify. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to show you, and then we're going to go into the Chrome Web Store and start installing some of these. So I'm going to click Screencastify and look at the questions that it asks me. Do I want to capture the tab, the desktop, or just my webcam? Well, I'm going to say the desktop. You can see my microphone is working because you see the sound balance. Do I want to embed the webcam? Well, if I'm thinking about flipping the classroom and instruction for my students or my colleagues, yeah, I might as well use the webcam and start recording. So it's asking me, I'm going to go ahead and grab just this window here, and I'm going to share it, and I know it's working because I've got that red record button. It will record every click. Hunter. It will record every click that I make, so I can say right now, go ahead and click on the Hunter Fan Company and enter your credit card and CSV number and everything. Oh, I should take a screenshot of that guy. He's pretty funny looking. When I'm done recording, I click stop, and it tells me, and I'm going to share it, and I know it's working because I've got that red record button. It will record every click, Hunter. It will record. So isn't it recorded every click? It recorded my voice. It recorded me. Think about, forget you doing screencasts for your students. How about you having your students do screencasts, right? Now look at this. Over here, I can crop this video. I can save it to my hard drive. It shows me the resolution on the video, how long it is, what the size is, and when it was recorded. It's automatically stored in my Google Drive. And I can click share here and look at this. I can share directly on Google Drive or to my YouTube channel as public, unlisted, or private. Have we paid for anything yet? Now, you guys are so quiet. Why are you so quiet? You're in awe of Chrome. Drive it home with Chrome. Okay, so we've looked at all of these extensions. Let's backtrack a little bit. I'm going to go back to people, back to my EdTech team account. So let's say, for instance, that we wanted readability. So I have a link there for you for readability. You can click that link. It'll bring you to the Chrome Web Store, and there it is. Now for me, I have a green bar that says added to Chrome. You have, what's yours say? Add to Chrome? Yeah, add to Chrome. It used to say free, now it says add to Chrome. All you have to do, and I'm going to go ahead and grab one that I don't have. Let's say that I didn't have the link that Lisa gave me, right? I would go to the Chrome Web Store. Well, Lisa, how do I get to the Chrome Web Store? Well, you could Google Chrome Web Store. You could go to the address chrome.google.com/webstore. You could go to your Chrome app launcher and click the Chrome Web Store there. Listen, Google, I think, has actually made it easy. What's hard for us is the terminology. So if we say Chrome Web Store, we know what we're looking for, we can Google it. We're building a Google site, we don't know the address is sites.google.com, that's okay, we could Google it, okay? All right, so I'm going to search the Chrome Web Store for Twitter just so that my screen looks like yours. So you would see this add to Chrome. You would click it, and it would ask you permissions. Depending on the extension, that's what determines what permissions it asks you for. So if that extension wants to send email as you, it needs access to Gmail. If it wants to save to your Google Drive, like Snagit and Screencastify did, it's going to ask for permission to access your Google Drive. So how do we decide what extensions we can install? Great question, Lisa. The way that you do that is you look at the ratings in the Chrome Web Store. So I can see that this Twitter application is 4 stars out of 5. That's great and all, but it only has 78 ratings. What I'm looking for are more like 9,374 ratings. So something that's rated 4 stars that has 9,000 ratings versus 5 stars that has 78 ratings. If I'm not willing to take a chance, I'm going to go with the one with more ratings. Now, why would that make a difference? I was looking for, do you guys remember Zamzar for downloading YouTube videos? Yes. Why aren't you talking? Why are you just shaking your head? Like, I want everybody that's watching the live stream, I want to turn my laptop around and say, they're really here. So I was looking for an extension that would allow me to download YouTube videos. So I go in the Chrome Web Store and I install this one. Nah, this one doesn't work. I install this one. Nah, this doesn't work. I keep installing them without uninstalling them. And eventually all these pop-ups started coming on my screen, which was awful. Well, I had to go and uninstall until I figured out which one it was that was causing the issue. But it's one reason that, really to look at those ratings. And when you find something that you like, go ahead and give it some stars. Okay, so let's look at one that we can install. So you go ahead and you install Readability, and it comes to the right of your Omnibox there. Speaking of an extension that's really helpful, how many tabs do I have open here? 3, 5, 7 tabs. What if I wanted to shut down my computer? My domain administrator doesn't have it set that I can reopen all my tabs, and I actually want to go to Jesse's computer over there and open all my tabs. Well, I use an extension called OneTab. So I click OneTab, and
I think Lisa has used one tab to close out her tab, guys. So give us 1 second if you are watching this online. You could take a moment and go to bit.ly/drive-it-home with Chrome and todaysmeet.com/edtechteam. So go ahead and take a second. That's our back channel and the resource site. And we'll see if Lisa can go ahead and open back up our tab. Hey guys, if you're watching, we have somebody on the way in Riverside to go tell Lisa. So you're seeing the magic of online sessions happening. So again, as we wait for Jessie, our TA, to go inform Lisa that her Chrome extension closed us out. Again, please go to Lisa's resource site where she's going through all these great Chrome extensions, bit.ly/drive-it-home-with-Chrome. And you can ask questions in the Hangout. There's a Q&A, so go ahead and throw any questions in there you have for Lisa. And we're also in the back channel, todaysmeet.com/edtechteam, so you can say hi and where you're viewing from. And we'll connect back with Lisa in just 1 second. So if you are watching live, folks, I'm going to go. I already saw somebody say hi. So we'll take a minute and just do a quick Q&A while we wait for Jessie over in Riverside to connect over with Lisa. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, hi. It's McTeach. Oh, hey, how are you? Hello from Northern California. We got Kate from Indiana. Awesome, guys. So which one of Lisa's extensions so far have you been stoked to see? Let's hear in the chat. I'll go ahead and throw that in on our screen. There we go. Awesome. Yay, Lorinda from Melbourne. There could be a downside to one tab, right, Kate? And so we see kind of I think that's happened to me before too. It just shuts down everything that's already in your browser, including a Hangout if you have one. Oh. Okay, we have technical support now in the room. Cool. Great. Is there any other extensions that you guys want to throw in the chat on the Today's Meet? Again, we're at todaysmeet.com/edtechteam if you want to join the conversation and share. And it looks like we're getting back online here. Hi, Lisa.
Good, Jessie.
Yay! Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Hi. We were just talking about the downside of one tab. I think that's what it was.
Great moment.
But everyone hung on and waited for you, so we're loving it.
We're back. I think the only thing that we did since one tab is we did the panic button, right? Oh, and tab scissors and tab glue. Well, I'll tell you, those of you that are watching, we went over tab scissors and tab glue right here in the top row, and we did the panic button, which is that white exclamation point. And now we're kind of ready to move on, but I saved the best thing. Okay, this is a new one that I just learned, and I'm going to go ahead and go to, let's see, Drive It Home with Chrome. So I've got this document right here. Oh, that's not the one that I wanted. So I'll go ahead and switch over here to my other domain. Here's my Drive It Home.
And if you could share your screen then, Lisa, that would be awesome.
It would be awesome. Oh, there's the countdown timer, right? Okay, so we're going to go back to the schedule for today, the Riverside schedule, and we're going to go down to back down to where it is. Where is it? Drive It Home with Chrome. Now, this is an an extension, but this is great for Google. Wants me to sign in. I can't win, guys. So let's see. You know what we'll do? We'll take this here. We're going to go back over here. I'm going to post this. Okay, so this is a new extension that I learned about. It's called DraftBack. So do you remember a few years ago there was those videos that people would kind of do a screencast of them creating a Google Doc and people coming in and collaborating? Yeah, well, this is DraftBack, and it's an extension that you install, and look at what happens. It will play back for me all the revisions. I'm not touching anything, and it's going ahead and playing the draft back to me. Now, why is this a good thing? Well, think about a student that's a troubled writer. Wouldn't it be great to go in and see how did they form this document? And by using DraftBack, you'd be able to do that. So I think that's a pretty cool one as well. All right, I'm going to go down here and let's talk about other things that we need to cover. There's DraftBack. It's in the bottom row on the far right. We were just about to go over the eyedropper, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go back into my other account. Now let's say those of you that were with me this morning and we were building Google Sites together, so up there's the countdown timer, came up with me, doesn't matter who I'm logged in, doesn't matter what tab I'm on, it'll keep coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel it now so that it doesn't continue to pop up. And I'm going to go ahead and go to google.com. Oops. And what I want is the Google logo. So Google has very set hex values for its images. So a certain blue, a certain red, certain yellow. Let's say I wanted to incorporate that into a Google drawing or a Google slide or anywhere that allows me to customize the colors. I would use this shortcut here, this extension here called the eyedropper. And I have a link to it on the Symbaloo page for you. So I click the eyedropper, and the eyedropper asks me, do I want to pick the color from the web page? Now it's pretty cool because you can see the recent colors that I've picked, so I can always come back to them. So there's the Google yellow, there I did it again, there I did it again. Let's go ahead and get a different Google color. So I click pick color from web page, I zoom in, I want to get that red. Now as I move my mouse around in the box, you can see that it's picking up the colors. Everyone see that? So I said I wanted the red, so I click the red right there. I go back to the eyedropper, and look at that, it's picked it up. So I've got my hex value there, I've got my RGB number if I want to use that, and it's recorded it for the next time if I want to come back and get it. Really, really nice. Okay, so I'm going to switch back over to our other account here. How many people have learned 3 new things? Good. Okay. The guys sitting in the back are like, I've never learned anything. Okay. This is a really cool one. This is a new one. Someone on our team named Christopher Kraft, he actually built 3 extensions for the web store, and my favorite one is Crafty Text if you're on a Mac. Oh, no, it's not if you're on a Mac. So if I click Crafty Text up here, I'm sorry, it's a Chrome extension, and I go ahead and type hello world or a URL and hit enter, it makes it big for me. So how many times do you want to zoom in and out like I've been doing? So I can post a URL there, I can post a direction there, I can post a page. What page did you say to be on? Right? Okay, so I love Crafty Text. That's another one to install. Also, we've been talking a lot about URL shorteners at this conference, at this summit. Here's the Google URL shortener. It'll shorten it. You can get a QR code, and then here's the shortened URL. I prefer to use tinyURL or bit.ly because I can customize the name. This is goo.gl/B9 lowercase z. It's a little bit more difficult, but it's nice and handy, quick, and easy to use. All right, so we're going to go back to our document here, and we're going to scroll down to apps. So what is a Chrome app versus a Chrome extension? Well, I said earlier that a Chrome extension adds increased functionality to your browser. Gets installed right there to the right of the Omnibox and allows you to do something that you wouldn't have otherwise been able to do. A Chrome app is a shortcut to a web application. But here's the benefit of using Chrome apps, is anything that you add or install as a Chrome app shows up in your Chrome app launcher. Now, again, on a Mac, it's in your dock. On a PC, it's in your taskbar, and on a Chromebook, it's in the bottom left-hand corner. So let's take a look at a couple of these apps of things that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So, like this one, the calculator. So we go to the Chrome Web Store, we add this calculator to Chrome. Now I don't know about you, but I frequently go into the Omnibox and I type my multiplication that I can't do in my head. I don't want to wear the battery out on my phone, and who in the world has a calculator in their drawer anymore unless they're like a money person, right? So now I've gone and added that calculator to my Chrome app launcher, click it, and it pulls up the calculator for me. So why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just bookmark these web apps? Well, I'll tell you why. As the Google Apps domain administrator, you can push out apps and extensions to different organizational units, or OUs. So let's say you want the entire 9th grade student population to have access to crafty text, readability, and Snagit. Well, your domain administrator could push them out, and then the students wouldn't have to go to the Chrome Web Store and install them themselves. So you can have that ready for the very first day of school. The same thing with the Chrome apps. So if I go to the Chrome Web Store right now, and I'm going to close this out, and I search the store, I have 3 different categories in the store. I have apps, extensions, and themes. So if I'm thinking about apps and I want to be able to screencast, or screen capture, I'm going to say screencast, hit enter. The first category that comes up on the right are my apps. And I can see that these are 3 tools that label themselves as screen casting tools. Then come my extensions, so there's Screencastify and there's TechSmith, and then the themes that match, which to me doesn't make any sense. Okay, I just thought I'd say that. All right, so I would install those apps and they would come into my Chrome app launcher. So it's just really nice. You saw Pear Deck demonstrated in the demo slams yesterday. That's a Chrome app. And all of these things are easily used with your, I'm going to switch to my Gmail for a second, with your Google account. So let's say I go into Screener. Most of the time, they'll allow you to use your Google Apps account for authentication and save to your Google Drive. So that's really what's going on behind the Google Apps. They're asking me a question. Okay. We're going to refresh this page here. So I'm going to take a break for a minute, and I'm going to ask, oh, wait, I wanted to show you Pixton. So I'm going to show you 2 Chrome apps. So Pixton for Chromebooks, I'm going to say add to Chrome, add. And what Pixton is a comic maker. So do you see here how I can sign in using my Google account? So I go ahead and do that. Ask me for access to my email, things like that. That's a you decision. You want to use the tool, you have to let them access that. And I'm going to say, no, I'm not a student. Oh, okay, so I could start a trial, and I would actually be able to make a comic maker. These are, a lot of these tools are free or freemium, meaning you can have this much for free, and then if you want this, 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 and this, you have to pay. So they call it freemium. Okay. So my question to you, oh, there was one more that I wanted to show you. Sorry. Two more. Number one, ad block. So if you install ad block and you go to YouTube and try to play those channels that have been monetized, guess what? It blocks the ads. Okay, so if I go ahead and I go to YouTube right now, I mean, I have ad block enabled, but no matter what I look for, I will not see any ads. Now, how many of you subscribe to a service like Hulu? Right? I use Hulu Plus. It'll make me disable ad block in order to stream those videos because it's a paid service. Yeah, absolutely. And then the other one, and this one is so important to me, and I feel weird streaming it. This is called LastPass. Okay. Do you have more than 5 usernames and passwords? Yes. Are you guys here? Okay. So let's say I need to log into my Marriott account, right? So that's the hotel that we're at here as a team. I have no idea what my Marriott username is, nor do I know what my password is. But I do know that if I go to sign in, I will see this asterisk and any logins that I have saved to LastPass. LastPass uses one master password. I can remember one username and master password, and I can change it whenever I want to. So I go to a website, I log into LastPass, and it'll prompt me, do you want to use these credentials? Now, it's pretty cool because I also installed LastPass on my phone, and I can put, so anywhere I'm at, like, oh, well, I need to do this. Well, I don't know what the username and password is. I can go into LastPass and get it, and my phone has fingerprint technology on it, so I can use my fingerprint to open LastPass, which is really cool. And if we look at LastPass here, we go to LastPass.com and we log in. Slowly, losing patience. It asks me for that one master password that I have memorized and then pulls up every single account that I have a username and password for, which is pretty crazy, right? Now, I will tell you that Google Drive and the banking and LastPass all use the same encryption security, and I'm really comfortable with it. But the only thing I don't save to LastPass, I don't save my banking there. That's just me. Some people do. I just chose not to.
So you have to manually decide what you choose.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. You go to a site for the first time, and you'll get a gray bar at the top that will say, would you like to save this to LastPass? Every time I go to my banking site, they ask me, and I just exit out. Yeah, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we are winding down on the time that we have available, and I'd like to open the floor to you guys to share an extension or app or tip and trick about Chrome that you'd like to share with the group. Nobody.
I like that with having an iPhone.
Yes.
It's very similar. Be able to just click and point to go and you can set everything up, especially like the news, when you've done it that way, you can immediately click on the app and it goes directly.
It does. It's really nice. And the other thing that I alluded to before is if I bookmark something on my computer, like I use my phone when I'm cooking, and I can get my mobile bookmarks here, which is really nice. So if you don't have the Chrome browser on your phone or your mobile device, you might consider installing it to have that as well. Wendy, do we have any apps or extensions or tips and tricks shared in the chat?
Yeah, it looks like we had a lot of people sharing some cool stuff like Colorzilla, Permanent Clipboard, Symbaloo.
There's a Symbaloo extension?
That's what Ann says.
You gotta look that up.
Check it out. Somebody did have a question about the difference between AdBlock and AdBlock Plus. Is it worth getting the Plus, do you think?
No, I don't believe it is. I mean, somebody somewhere is gonna tweet to me. What? Yeah, AdBlock is free, but they're asking you to donate to support their efforts. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these extensions that are made, sometimes it's just, you know, somebody who figured out how to do it. Look at that. There's a Symbaloo bookmarker. And you're probably saying, well, what's Symbaloo? Symbaloo is how I made these groups of icons here. What else, Wendy?
I think that's our questions that we had. Does anyone else have cool ones in the room or things that they use?
Also, someone in our room just posted one in today's meet, and then we also have a question.
Oh, there was one I learned in the last session called Announceify.
Announceify.
It reads it to them, but it blocks out all the other paragraphs that are being read.
Oh, isn't that awesome? Announceify. Yeah, see, so that's the thing. There's so many of these apps and extensions. Here it is. Oh, and you know what's really funny? I knew about that one. It was Jeff who showed it to you. He showed it to me when we were in Philly together. That's Announceify right there. Yeah. The other thing that I wanted to mention is how to get rid of extensions. So let's say you have too much going on to the right of your Omnibox. What you can do, let's say that I don't want to have the thinking chair here. I can right-click. I can remove, I can hide it, which means it's still active in Chrome. I just can't get to it. Or I could remove it from Chrome, which means you're disabling it and, excuse me, and deleting it too. So really, do you want to remove it? Yeah, I'll remove it. I'll just wind up installing it again. And then we also had one in the back of the room that was shared.
Yeah, I posted full page screen capture.
Full page screen capture.
Yeah, so it extends you on the screen. It'll capture the entire, let's say, page, but not just what you see. It'll capture below that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think Snagit will do that as well. It's just I always use the region tool. All right, well, I'm going to stop screen sharing here for a moment, and I'm going to thank everybody for coming and for their time, and apologize to the people that were watching live for our little one-tab snafu. Go get yourself some cold drinks and enjoy the last session of the day, and make sure to come to the closing keynote. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us online. We'll archive this.